We do have new numbers showing the U.S. trade deficit growing. Those numbers in from the Commerce Department, widening by 1.3%, $77.2 billion in the month of October. This as President Trump gets set to leave tomorrow for the G20 summit in Argentina, where he does have his big meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. And there's all this talk about whether we can get a breakthrough this weekend on trade. So let's bring in the author and foreign affairs journalist, Gordon Chang, to talk about that. I mentioned the trade deficit largely because the president mentions it so much. So just to get that out of the way at first, to me, it's not a very useful metric in looking at all of this. It just means we're importing more than we're exporting, and the economy is pretty strong right now. But do you disagree? What do you make of a widening trade deficit?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you have a vibrant economy, Americans are going to spend.
Yeah.
You know, we're heading to Christmas time. So, of course, the trade deficit is going to be big. I mean, it's just a sign of a successful economy.
Right.
It's not a sign of a unsuccessful policy with regard to China. There are other metrics for that.
What is the best metric? Because the president over and over again does use this trade deficit metric, as flawed as it may be. But as he goes into this big weekend meeting with Xi Jinping, what would be a better way to look at it?
The most important thing is to protect U.S. intellectual property from Chinese theft.
Right.
They're taking hundreds of billions of dollars a year. We don't know.
How do you do that? How do you do that this weekend?
I think what you have to do this weekend is to tell the Chinese that there is no deal, that basically we are going to continue to impose costs until China stops stealing our stuff, stops predatory trade practices, all sorts of things that China's been doing that it shouldn't be doing. You know, the Chinese can have come to these agreements. They agree all the time to stop stealing. For instance, Xi Jinping himself was standing in the Rose Garden with President Obama, September 2015, said, we are not going to hack the companies of the other country for commercial purposes. China never stopped hacking our
You're
companies.
saying the president basically should walk out of the meeting with nothing having been accomplished. Let me say, I have research in front of me from a guy named Dan Clifton, a strategist, which I was reading this morning. And this is why I think there's a problem with what you're saying, is that from the financial markets point of view, they're looking at what the scenarios might be. And he says the framework setup result scenarios, like a 40% probability, a ceasefire, which would be a truce, is 30%. So that gets us to 70, right? Then he says a bigger than expected deal on tariffs is 20%. So not a very good chance. But he says failure, which is essentially what you're saying, is 10%, and that would be a disaster for markets. So if what you say should happen does happen, this 600 points we have today could be, you know, turned around and even more than that on Monday.
Yeah, and we shouldn't think that after decades of misguided trade policy that there are any no-cost solutions. You know, if you're saying, well, look, let's do something great for financial investors, but the point is, what are you going to do 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when we become just an exporter of only primary agricultural products? We do not need to be a third world economy. And this is going to be painful.
But in the meantime, a lot of these companies and a lot of these farmers could go under.
They could, but it's unlikely because, you know, I heard one of your guests talk about, well, you know, Brazil is selling stuff to China. Well, there are only so many soybeans in the world. So Brazil is not selling to its traditional customers, which means Americans will do that. And by the way, American soybean farmers are now planting other stuff because they know the problem.
They're forced to. I mean, they're forced to kind of make adjustments. And at some point, they might be forced to, you know, sell their farm, or their farm might go down in value, or, you know, there's some pretty big problems for those people.
Yeah, of course. And this is why you have a government, because you can have support for farmers, as we do. We support farmers anyway. We can just increase that. But the point is that, you know, if you want an economy with no Google, no Amazon, no Microsoft, no whatever, then yeah, that's where we're going. You got to do something about it, and it is going to hurt.
China to give in on that, by the way. But this has a quick final point. You think they do, or definitely not this weekend? It's a long way off.
No, and you got to just continue to cost, because Xi Jinping believes in a state-dominated economy. He believes in trade predation. He believes in stealing stuff. So yeah, it's going to take a long time.
We're going to be here a while. All right, we'll talk to you again. Thank you, Gordon.